Уже.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody who joins us in Ukraine Media Center Ukraine Forum. My name is Olga Atamanova, and I want once again to thank all of you for joining us here. It's been 10 years of the war, and today's day 474 of the full-scale invasion of our homeland by Russian aggressor. And today we're having a special guest, a guest that was rescued from Kherson. The dog whose name is Kherson. So I want to introduce also a speaker today, Iryna Podvoiska, director of Patron Pet Center. Good afternoon, Miss Iryna. Please, today we will be talking about the rescue of our small friends, how the volunteers from Kherson and Kherson region rescued the pets after the tragedy that was man-made catastrophe by the Russians there. So how many pets were rescued and how it was going on? Good afternoon, I'm the head of Patron Pet Center. My name is Iryna Podvoiska. So we opened the doors of our organization recently. You know, we were just building our organization, but the aggressor just didn't wait, and we couldn't stand aside when the tragedy erupted, and we started accepting pets from all around Kherson region. We started getting calls from international funds, volunteers, the military, and they started asking us whether we can accept the animals. Obviously, we could not reject any of them, so for the time being, there are 75 pets in our shelter for the time being. Both dogs and cats. Those were the pets who used to live with their humans before, but they ended up in the flood, they ended up in the streets, and they had to be rescued. The process of evacuation was extremely difficult. First of all, Kherson is under incessant shelling. The suburbs are under incessant shelling. Within the first days of the tragedy, the people were buying boats, they were going in big evacuation teams, they were They were swimming. I apologize. Kherson, it's very delicious. Here you go. Well, thank you for this treat. Very delicious. So people use the boats to rescue the animals. Unfortunately, a lot of pets drowned, just like a lot of people did. The animals were climbing on top of the roofs of the buildings, asking for help. On the second day, the intense shelling started, and any volunteers were prohibited from going into the open water, so everybody was waiting in the safe places before they could go out to rescue the animals. There were dogs asking for help, there were cats swimming in front of the people to get rescued. So we continue receiving calls with the request to receive more animals. We got a call that there are 10 more cats and 8 dogs on the way to us, and it's going on every day. So we don't plan different sections for the animals. We just know that we have to keep our doors open at all times. There are construction workers residing in our facility. They try to continue construction. We try to continue doing it. In fact, I apologize once again. Kherson was not eaten for a long time on the road. Well, I called him Patron, I apologize. So our doors are open at all times. Everybody got united around this initiative. All the organizations, all the volunteers. We have a volunteer zoo hub in our Patron Center. People keep coming with food, keep coming with everything necessary to support the animals. The volunteers clean the facility after the animals and help in all ways possible. Miss Iryna, how many animals have you been able to rescue? For the time being, it's 75 animals, 17 more cats left for other shelters with the areas equipped for the cats specifically. As I mentioned, we are in the process of construction, so a number of the facilities which are safe and comfortable for the animals are available, but they are still not enough. I would like to ask our technical team to launch the video to see how the evacuation, how the rescue was going on. Together we are capable of everything. The volunteers that saved the lives of animals at the place of tragedy in Kakhovka. Meanwhile, at Patron Pet Center, they keep coming on and on. We got a lot of incredible people coming to us. Thanks to you, we were able to get prepared. And we were able to accept the first victims of the tragedy. Everyone made their incredible input. This one is fine. This one is gonna be fine. We are happy to have such people as you with us. Still got a lot of work ahead. Oh, look at this little one. We may help together. So those are very touching pictures. So what's on for those animals? Do you plan to hand them to other people? Does your center still need any help, any support? Well, thank you for this question. For the time being, those are all animals who used to have their human families before, and now we're trying to find the owners of these animals, the owners who lost their dogs and cats. We get calls from the citizens of Kherson every day, and they keep asking whether we have their dogs and cats. For the time being, we were able to get in touch with a couple of owners, and the citizens of Kherson, they come to us looking for their pets, and some of their owners were able to find their pets who were rescued by us. We are impressed by the love of the owners to their cats and dogs. So first of all, this is something that we do first thing, looking for the owners, looking for their pets. There is a big queue already to get these pets adopted. People keep coming and asking whether they can take those animals for themselves, but there is the quarantine procedure for the animals. It's not very long. We vaccinate the animals, we check whether everything is alright with them, whether they're not ill, and only afterwards we sign a document with a new owner, the handover agreement for the responsible attitude to the animal, and then we have an animal adopted, a pet adopted by a new family. Regarding the support, yes, Patron Pet Center needs a lot of help. The animals are scared, they went through a lot. You know that the east is under constant shelling, and a lot of animals are just concussed. They react to the explosions. Many animals just are not used to walking with the leashes because they were living in private residential areas and they are not used to having a leash, and it's a stress for the animal when they are being set on a leash. The adaptation process is getting more complicated. Now there are zoo psychologists working with us. Those are the girls who love the animals immensely, and they help the animals to come around so that they start eating, so that they start feeling just normally. They start using the bathroom and they start walking because the animals need to feel comfortable. I really want to thank you for what you're doing, for the great job you're doing, dear colleagues. If you have any questions on the floor, please go ahead. Good afternoon, Olga Panasenko, Ukrinform. Our reporters from Odessa were visiting Kherson to help in the rescue of the animals, and they were saying that the volunteers were asking for big cages because the dogs, a lot of dogs, they have not frozen but damaged limbs, cold limbs, and they cannot really stand on the ground. So what are the health problems that you are facing with the animals, and do you have enough veterinary medics who support you? Thank you for this question. I have not covered this part. Really, the animals who are coming to us, some of them are injured, some of them have injured limbs. They're not frozen, yeah, but they had some, for example, shrapnel injuries. This is why we have to resort to the help of the doctors who help us with this issue. The common problem with the animals are the fleas. I understand it's a very difficult region, so the animals were not treated properly. Also, many dogs are with ticks, which may result in other diseases. Some cats have carcinoma, but those are not so numerous. Something that we're facing frequently is the concussion and dermatological problems along with the limbs injuries. Regarding their rescue, I mean in terms of veterinary medical support, we cooperate with the Association of the Veterinary Doctors of Ukraine. They comprehensively support us. They maintain the veterinary direction of our veterinary area of our work. They cover all of our basic needs, I mean, for our animals. So yes, veterinary support is available as soon as an animal is incoming. There is the primary examination. All of the problems that we may face in future are being logged, and then we visit the specialists in other hospitals to solve the health issues. Regarding something that is available at our Patron Pet Center, we have 14 areas for the animals. not just because we just wanted to make some good aviaries for the animals, but we wanted the animals to feel comfortable there. And I'm a veterinary doctor myself. I'm formerly an owner of the shelter, so our shelter is with warm floor. When some animals come to us after staying in cold water, it's comfortable for them to stay in the aviary, which is properly ventilated, so there is no smell, there is no noise, and the air in the aviary is always fresh, so the animals just feel themselves at home in the aviary. They can continue resting, they feel fine in general. Miss Iryna, another question for those who will probably decide to join you and help you physically to walk a dog, to pay attention, more attention to them, how to find you. So we are located at Exhibition Center, Pavilion 11. We have a page in Instagram and we post the graphs there so that no one gets offended if they're not being led to walk a dog. I just have to explain, they are animals, they need to come around, the specialists work with them. It's no zoo, it's the real rehabilitation center. We help the animals who were affected by the Russian aggression. They went through everything, fire, water, and we really help them because they really need us as specialists, as Ukrainians who can understand what's going on and who can really help. So everybody who wants to help, please visit our page on the Instagram. Please check the dog walking schedule because it's being created based on the needs of the animals. It's very important, really. Also, we need people for cleaning. We have morning cleaning and evening cleaning. At the same time the dogs are being walked, our psychologist will tell you whom to walk and when to walk, so please listen to them and do it in a way that is advised by the specialist. So once again, I want to thank you for the great job you're doing. I want to thank everybody who gets engaged in the rescue of the animals. I wish all of them to find new families because they really went through a lot, and I hope they will end up in their new families shortly. We have this incredible conversation with the dog Kherson, and I'm reminding you, joining us was the head of Patron Pet Center, Iryna Podvoiska, and at 12:30 we will have a briefing with Vitaly Kim and we will talk about the situation in Mykolaiv region, so stay tuned, work together for our victory and glory to Ukraine.